Welcome back. I am Zoronden, and you are tuned into another Heart of the Swarm Beta Starcraft 2 cast. I am Zoronden, and let's see today's combatants. It is going to be in the mid-right corner, or section, the red Zerg Kalma, who you recognize from the previous Heart of the Swarm game, and in the mid-left area, the blue Terran Thorgralt. I have literally no idea what this map is called. I'm going to try and look that up in the middle of this cast. Now you will notice the replay is going a little bit faster. This is a much longer game than previously cast, so I am going to go a little bit quicker. This is actually Thorgralt City. I was able to just grab the name of this map. I believe this is a new Heart of the Swarm map. If it isn't, it's one that's been kind of hidden in Wings of Liberty, but I'm pretty sure this is a new map. It does look a lot like Metropolis in a sense. It's obviously the same tile set, but it is definitely not the same map. And I think this is in the same style of Metropolis because Blizzard really likes that idea of that map, but could never just get it to work for themselves. So they went ahead and threw it into a new design. Anyways, Kalma did go ahead and throw down his hatchery and his spawning pool. I believe that was a spawn before hatch. And Thorgralt is grabbing his own expansion as well. Of course, Kalma's is already done, so that's definitely something that we need to note, as Zerg definitely and always want that first. And here comes the scout out for Kalma, just now getting his overlord in there. He does in fact have an overlord at the third? It could be called a fourth. I think it's more of a fourth. I mean, obviously it's probably somewhat easier defensively, but the rocks are there, and it's also going to be hard to get to it, while it's easier to defend. While this one is easier to defend, like time-wise, to get there with your troops, it as well has its own debris. Actually, looking back at this fourth here, the rock tower is not in the way. It only gets in the way if it's destroyed. So that gives the option to the alternate player to destroy those rocks and try and block that expansion, at least for a little bit. Unfortunately, if it really does operate as a fourth, most of the time when players want to grab it, they're going to have a sizable force that can quickly clear that. So it's an interesting option and factor. And let's slow this down a little bit here and see if we can see. Ooh, and quite a bit of damage going down by these Hellions, missing a crispy critter there on the drones. Quite a few drones going down. Thorgralt getting a nice harass here. Keep in mind that is 5 Hellions. That is a decent investment, but at the same time, it is only minerals, and that is a considerable amount of damage that he managed to lay down. And still sniping off Zerglings left and right. They do not have enough to get this round at this point. And so much damage going down at these guys. And wow, they might even get out of here alive. Only 2 Lings go down. 1 Hellion does go down, though. Oh, and both Hellions actually go down, and 9. There were like 8 hit points on that Zergling. 1 Zergling managed to take that down. I'm really surprised at that. And wow, check out that creep spread. That is going to be insane by Kalma. Let's see if we can check out that units lost tab. I always forget what it is. That is obviously not what I want there. It is one of the control buttons. Yeah, there we go. I'm getting there. Anyways, 12 workers killed by Thorgralt. A few less than I thought, but it's still at the same time, that is a massive amount of workers killed off. A very nice, cost-effective harass by Thorgralt. The real question was going to be, does he continue that harass or transition into something else? And it appears he is transitioning into a massive marine and what I can only assume is Marauder Ball. We'll obviously have to see if he's going to do an insane mass marine build or a nice marine marauder build. So we shouldn't be seeing anything Heart of the Swarm out of Thorgralt. And what we are definitely seeing up here in some of the expansions is this typical, at least by Kalma, Zerg creep pooping by the overlords on the expansions, and that is something I've noticed Kalma likes to do, and frankly I like it as well. There's really no reason to do it. It provides a miniature block, and what we're going to see right here is that Thorgralt is sending an expansion over here that it isn't going to be able to get down just yet. It is going to be an effective block by Thorgralt, and he is going to save, or at least stop Thorgralt from earning way more than 100 minerals. So it is a well-spent thing by Kalma, and I mean there's 2 Marines getting down here. The Overlord may escape, probably won't, especially if it has hold position, which is the case. So that's going to go down easily, but again, he has earned way more than 100 minerals by blocking Thorgralt for that time, and Thorgralt, wisely, maybe, perhaps, probably, in fact, is going to set his expansion down in the long distance, but that is going to allow him to mine up while this creep is. So a nice block by Kalma, and obviously a decent response by Thorgralt. Not much you can do in that situation. You just gotta throw a few Marines in there and kill that Overlord. I just like the little bit of landing that out of range. And I gotta say, this is one of the craziest creep spreads I have ever seen. Kalma is not only crazy amount of tumor spreading, but he's not even waiting for the creep to fully spread out. He's just creating as many of these guys as he can, and it's in completely flooding the minimap with red tumor icons. And while he is doing such, we can take advantage of seeing that new creep spread graphic that the tumors do. They shoot a little worm-like thing out, and it's not an infinite worm. It is a specific distance that kind of crawls through the ground and the creep out to its new destination. And what I've actually noticed is that if it goes from high ground to low ground, the worm will completely emerge, and it'll be as if it's flying through the air. It's a really cool thing that Blizzard's designed. And again, you can see a bunch of them going right there. And again, it's one of those things that Blizzard has designed that most pro players and most competitive players just aren't going to really care about or even notice. But at the same time, it adds this aesthetic quality to the game that is just bloody amazing, bloody brilliant. I wouldn't have it any other way. And in the meantime, beyond the aestheticness of this creep, this is starting to become a serious, serious danger for Thorgralt. While Kalma is still down by about 50 food, the creep spread has covered half the map at this point, and very soon it's not going to be covering half the map horizontally, but it's going to cover half to 3/4 the map horizontally and vertically. It is an insane creep spread. I don't really know what else to say about that. It's quite unnecessary, frankly, but at the same time, it's amazing. And Thorgralt's got to be freaking out a little bit after scanning that many tumors. I mean, he's going to come in here and just slaughter tumors left and right. And they obviously disappeared there for him. But holy crap, check out Thorgralt's army here. That is a sizable force and can easily push back this creep spread if a scan goes down. And Thorgralt, being maxed, is willing to scan as well as start to cut his way towards Kalma's base. And if he's insistent on clearing out these tumors, he's going to have a heck of a time just taking his leisurely time to get there. In the meantime, Kalma does indeed have 4 bases going strong. We saw a Baneling nest there at what I believe is the main, but we got combat going down here. Tons of fungals going down, and that army is completely sauced. Actually not, it's holding it off. The Lings and Infestors are all that were there. So many fungals, though. This army is at extremely low hit points. A few do escape, and now are being healed up by a sizable medevac force. Not an insane by any means, but the force does survive. The Lings kind of butting their head against that force. Obviously, the fungals made it anywhere near possible for Kalma to survive. I thought he might actually win for a second. But here is the problem with the insane creep spread that Kalma has been doing. It is so easily cleared out by Thorgralt, as is now happening. He has killed so many tumors with so little effort that it's almost disgusting. But again, with so many tumors on the map, the creep spread continues and grows and works in different directions. And Thorgralt, I'm not really sure what he's thinking, but he's pulling back. So he's going to be content to go home and turtle some more for now. And something I've been curious about with watching the beta is why players are going on the beta and playing normal styles. Why aren't they working in something that is not in live? He is clearly doing a Marauder Marine with tanks build here. You know, an MMM ball with tanks, which is something extremely prototypical of Wings of Liberty. Yet, he's playing on the beta. Now, my only thought to that is somebody who's not, to practice against somebody who's not doing that. Well, so far, Kalma has played completely legit as well. Other than he is now getting Burrow Charge for the Ultralisks. So that's obviously going to be a different play, but it isn't such a big factor that I think you need to practice extensively on Heart of the Swarm. Now, I'm not saying Thorgralt is practicing extensively. Here we got a serious combat going on against massive bungles. Great bungles going down for Kalma. And this time, it is going to win him this competition. And he's going to easily mop up. Well, not easily. He actually lost considerable forces. But I'm pretty sure he's going to push Thorgralt back here. He is having some links come in, a few more ultras. That'll definitely mop it up. Thorgralt wants to get out of there, and no fungal's going to stop them. They're going to escape. Potentially do some drops even. So, other than Burrow Charge, which isn't even finished yet, neither player is doing anything non-Wings of Liberty. So what we really have is map practice, I guess, for this unique map. And that's the thing. While you can't always see why players are playing on the beta, you got to remember they're playing on different maps. They're playing against different players who do different things. There can even be these minor upgrades. So if somebody's got some free time or just wants some potentially different play, they're going to play on the beta. So while I might harp on them, they have their reasons. And hey, it's given me a fun and different replay. Or at least a replay that has potential differences. So again, while I question it, I'm not giving them real crap because I do like it. And these queens trying to make the journey, looks like they're going to be caught off guard by some SCVs who, you know, aren't going to attack them because they're SCVs. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I guess he wants to get rid of them and he's using them to scout. That's my only thought. Or maybe he was hoping to expand and that's why he's scouting. Something like that. Something like that. Anyways, the queens are making the slow and effortful? I was going to say effortless, but that's obviously not the word. So then I had to switch to effortful. Anyways, they are making the difficult journey down to these two expansions, which they both went to the same one. That's fine. Whatever. They're queens. We don't question their motives. There he goes. Or she, rather. Going to the right expansion. And so we are looking at 5, 6, 7 expansions going down or going to be soon established for Kalma. Looks like we're going to have some more creep timber killing off of by Thorgralt here. Obviously, again, not going to get them all because, again, there are just so many on the map. If Thorgralt throws down another scan, he does clear those up. Stopping the mid and southern creep spread by Kalma. Obviously, there's still some nice northern growth going on, which could come into play for Kalma. What we'll definitely notice now is both players are pretty much maxed at farm food. At max food. Thorgralt still pretty much not using any new units. I do see a Widow Mine in there, which I'm not sure why you got one Widow Mine in a massive army like that unless you want to just play with it. But some nice flankage coming out by Kalma. Quite a few Ultralisks in there starting to shred stuff all over. Definitely some nice bungles, trapping units, not letting them move around. The Ultralisks just move in, clear up things. But we do have an attack at the natural, and it has gone down. A nice drop. He took that frontal attack and turned it into a drop from the rear units that he had sitting back here from that first attack. He takes out an Evo Chamber along with the Natural's Hatchery. So some decent damage. Looks like he also functionality did a drop at the third here. I believe that is a third. Yes, that's a third. If it's not a third, then yeah, it's a third. I know it is now. Tell you what, I love being confused. These new maps and stuff are allowing these new and exciting situations that I get to learn and check stuff out and it's a lot of fun. So, oh, check out those macro hatches going on. Definitely going to need that with the natural here gone. The question is, that's worth reestablishing. I'd throw a hatchery down there. He may not think it's necessary at this time, considering he's got these 2 new bases massively mining. And check that out. Late in the game, yet another block of an expansion by Kalma. A good call by Thorgralt. Obviously still blocking the northern 2 as well. Something interesting I'm going to note about this map is there's no gold expansions at all. Now, I don't know if this is a theme Blizzard... Oh, check that out. Double Ultralisk Cavern. That's interesting. Obviously, with 2 upgrades now, that's a thing that is potentially viable. Anyways, there's no gold expansions on the map, and I would have expected 1 or 2, like, here and here, but we don't have them. And I don't know if this is a thing by Blizzard, if they're not doing gold in this expansion, or if it's just a thing on this map. But at the same time, I really find that interesting. No gold on the map. So, as I cast more Heart of the Swarms and different maps, I will keep an eye out for whether we do or do not have gold expansions. And if any of you have seen any information on that, if Blizzard has decided to phase out gold minerals patches, let me know, because I'm actually really curious on that. That's something worth noting. And check out these Ultralisks. Jesus. How many do we have on the field? 17 Ultralisks. That is insane. We got another giant engagement going here. Down here. Tons of fungos going down. The Ultralisks are moving in. Do we get any ulti charges? I don't see any going down. Part of the problem I've seen with Ultralisk charges is that they have to be casted. I think the Ultralisk charge needs to be on auto cast. Now, maybe some other players will disagree with me, and we need to see the ability develop more in pro play. But for now, I'm with the fact that I think they need to be on auto cast. It is a really good ability for pushing units back, for disrupting attacks, things like that. But it can be hard to cast. You're not completely sure on the range of the Ultralisk, things like that. We obviously saw this 7th go down here. So that's something we got to keep an eye on and see how that ability develops. We do obviously have about 5 months until this expansion does come out, so we'll keep an eye on that. Some medevacs potentially going down here to Fungal. Just drop some Infested Terrans to take them down. So a few easy kills there for Kalma. I think only 1 Marine did go down with that attack, though. It's mostly just a medevac loss by Thorgralt. I may have even been on purpose, as he's pretty much maxed out. So, interesting play there by him. But again, on that Ultralisk charge, or what is it called, Burrow charge, it's an ability we need to watch develop. I believe it would be better autocast, but maybe everyone wouldn't. And maybe there's the option to make it autocast, kind of like SCV repair. Let's see if we can even see that on an SCV. You can't tell if it can be made auto repair. So maybe the Burrow charge can be given the option to make it autocast. That I'd like to see. Either way, again, we'll watch it and see where it goes. Quite a few SCVs being sacrificed there by Thorgralt. I think that was on accident. I think he was trying to go for this expansion and just straight up lost it. And obviously this expansion coming into risk as well. Not a lot of the SCVs there left to lose. The expansion does easily lift up and go away. And quite a few infestors completely open to be sniped off here. Can they get away? They're going down left and right. They don't have Burrow. He does not have Burrow. That's why Burrow charge has not been used at all. I don't know why he researched it without actually having it. That might be a serious mistake on his part. Actually, they might be usable without Burrow. It looks like it's usable without Burrow. I saw quite a few of them do it there. But it looks like Thors just do not get knocked back. And those Ultralisks just got liquefied to that wall. Here come a few more coming in and just throwing themselves against that Thor wall. That is not something you like to see. Or at least I don't like to see, because I love me some ultis. Those guys got sauced left and right. And Thorgralt is just going to move right into this 4th or 3rd or whatever this used to be. Quite a few Lings, though, getting this around. Those Marine and Marauders do not stand a chance. Even the Thors are in trouble here. A few get lifted up, and they're going to try and run home, and they should make it just fine. No air there for the moment. Kalma yet again starting his creep spread, doing what he can from his 5th and I don't know what they are. They're 6th and 7th. In landed Vikings, one goes down quite easily to Zerglings. Not something you see too often, a Viking dying to Zerglings. And check out the Overlord picnic going on over here. We got quite a few of them just camping out. And check that out, a few Zerglings going in here, and look at all these mules that could easily be killed. He's going to block the expansion with the collapsible rocks. A small, limited time block, but brilliant by Kalma. Just not wanting to stay there with his lings in case an attack or retaliation by Thorgralt coming in. And he didn't even need to kill the mules because they're all going to die before they can do anything because Thorgralt cannot land that expansion. I gotta say, I think I'm really going to like collapsible rock towers. That is a cool addition. Oh, and we have another attack going on here at the old natural that was never reestablished. Obviously, so far, no real losses going on, but what we have is an attack going on at the 6th that might actually be able to do some nice damage. He is killing off a few drones, repositioning spine crawlers. He now has no burrowed spine crawlers. These Marines and Marauders are going to try to reposition themselves, but oh, there actually is a couple down there, and that gets them completely cornered and killed off. They do load up into the medevac, which is not... There's the fungal that we need, and it goes down. Thought for a second he was going to let that escape. What I love about this block here is it's permanent until Thorgralt comes down and moves it, which for the moment will at least be some issue because he has to cross creep to do it, which is going to allow Kalma to see him and corner his army here. Again, that is something very key. In a situation like this, in a map like this, on the pro level, I mean, check out the streaming of units coming across the map. I guess those are drones, but those aren't. Oh, but look at this. Thorgralt doing a nice job with continued aggression of drops to keep his army safe by going down and clearing out those collapsible rocks. A very nice play by Thorgralt, keeping things secure. And now actually allowing himself to try and attack on the 6th and 7th. I'm not used to saying those numbers. They're so high. But Kalma himself doing a very nice job of defending here with some fungals. Unfortunately, so many units is hard to control and get off all those fungals you want. Especially if your guys are low on energy, which they're not. So many high energy infestors going down for Kalma. Oh my god, not good. Not good. Another nice fungal going down. The units do get cleared up, but he lost so many high energy infestors. Not game ending, but so disappointing to see. And just owie, 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 owie. New Ultralisk Cavern going up. I don't know why he built a 3rd. Unless he was worried he was going to lose these to that drop earlier. And that has to be what it was. The destructible rocks obviously cleared out here by Kalma. But of course the Ultralisks and Zergling still blocking this expansion. And he could even drop a few infested Terrans if he wanted to try and kill off that command center. Doesn't look like that's the intention at this point, though. Not really necessary. Looks like Thorgralt has not established an expansion over there. He wants to. Some burrow charges coming in here into Thorgralt's army, completely dispersing it, spreading it out, allowing the Ultralisks the space and contact they needed to completely wipe that out. That was awfully disgusting. The Ultralisks didn't even take much damage, and the infested Terrans should mop up these medevacs quite easily. There it goes. And Kalma really starting to dominate this game. He's winning match after match after match. His creep spread is really starting to take over the map. Thorgralt has been limited in the amount he's been able to take it out recently. And Thorgralt has just been stopped at every expansion that he's wanted. He can't get this one because of destructible rocks and creep. Actually, the creep's not even blocking him at this point. It's only a destructible rocks. So that's Thorgralt's fault. Here he's blocked by creep. And here he's sort of blocked by creep, but not really. Check this out, though. This is something I wanted to show, but just haven't been able to. Is the creep spreading over a building? This is something new for Heart of the Swarm. If any Protoss or Terran building gets caught in creep, it's just going to spread up onto that building. It's a very cool idea, very cool graphic that we can check out. And I believe there was an attack down here. That's why the drones are out of position. Obviously, nothing terrible went down. Anyways, one last look at this. Where'd it go? There we go. That was it. One last look at this command center because I just think that is bloody awesome. I've wanted something like that for a long time, and I'm really excited that Blizzard has gone ahead and done that. Also, the ramps tend to be a little better covered. At one point, I thought I saw a beta photo that had creep all the way across the ramps, like dripping over the sides. But I don't see that going on now. Maybe they had to take that out because of processing reasons. I'm not quite sure. Drop here by Thorgralt. Gonna be pushed off, not killed though. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very good drop because both of these extractors are exhausted, and there's only about 335 minerals there, so not the greatest of blocks there by Thorgralt. And his expansion is ready to go here if he wants it. Unfortunately, it's going to cost him quite a bit to get a drone transfer going on there. Looks like an expansion was killed off here by Thorgralt. And Kalma going to take the tumor into there. Actually going to block his own expansion if he was to want this. I'm actually looking at that now. He never had an expansion there, or at least did not have a hatchery there mining. And another big engagement here. Thorgralt caught out of position. The Ultralisk charge going in. Massive bungles going down. And Thorgralt going to be completely decimated on all four fronts in this competition. Or this battle, rather. Even a Neural Parasite going down on a Thor. And he's going to need to surround that soon, or it's going to start poking at Infestors unnecessarily. Oh, he gets a kill off. Not an unnecessary Infestor kill off there. Something Kalma could have avoided, but not really a big issue here. Now the question becomes, does Thorgralt leave? He's trying. There it does lift off. The creep just popping right off magically. It'd be kind of cool to see something loopy drip off of it, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain too much. And oh, that one's already in the air as well. So again, blocking the mining that Thorgralt needs so desperately. He's been out on these expansions for quite a while and desperately needs the guys in the middle, and the blocks just keep coming. And Kalma may not have this one right now, may not know that Thorgralt has an expansion here, but he's going to know soon enough as his drone comes in and tries to build a hive. So expect the Ultralisks, Zerglings, and Infestors to come in soon enough. And at this point, all Thorgralt has to work on is his drops, and they just cannot cut it against Kalma's army. They're going to easily come in here and push that off again. The attack has begun by Kalma. It is a single drone versus what is soon to be a planetary fortress, and that drone is yesterday's business. But the Ultralisks are here to avenge his death. We're going to quickly snip that to pieces. And there it goes. That expansion easily cleared up by Kalma. And check out all of these guys going to work, all those mules. And that is what happens when you are blocked from actual mining minerals with so many orbitals on the field. You reach a bunch of energy and you finally get one. You just drop this many mules, which honestly is a decent income. I mean, it doesn't... Okay, never mind. Usually I would expect it to be more than that. It's only at about 500-600 or so. So either way, a depressing amount of money. And we missed a decent battle here. Several Neural Parasites going down. Ultralisk cleaning up most of the fight again. They're even attacking the Neural Parasited units. That time that was very nice. Not losing Infestors. 2 Neural Parasited units that time. And I mean, at this time, Kalma's got this. I don't see how Thorgralt can win, especially against an 83 to 200 food point deficit. Kalma, in fact, seems to be massing here for the final push. I would expect this match to be wrapped up. So much so, I'm going to as they move in here, the remaining Thorgralt army is cleanly wiped up by Zerglings and Ultralisks. Not even a fungal going down. And Thorgralt goes ahead and dips out. And after watching this match, I really actually do like this map. Some pretty cool blocks can go down with these collapsible rocks, and they're actually functional later in game because you can make them into a harassment. You make a building, especially on Terran, you make the Terran lift their building and then block those rocks off, and then retreat. So I really liked that. A lot of double building play by Kalma. I don't know. Some of it was preventative. Some of it was a little overkill. 2 expansions for your Ultra lists. Not a terrible idea. Not sure if I would go with that normally, though. Obviously, that's something we're gonna have to see players play with more, see if it really becomes worth it or not. But a nice late game, long game, really. We're at a half an hour here, so that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna wrap this up since it was so long. I want to thank Kalma again for sending that in, and all the UCAP guys. And to anyone else out there who has Heart of the Swarm beta, please send me some replays of this of the Heart of the Swarm. These are the only 2 replays I had so far, so definitely send me some of them. I do not want to cast anything I do because it is not worthy of casting. So send those in, Zoronden@gmail.com. That's in the information below. You can see it right there. So send those in, and please do thumbs up and subscribe so I can bring you more Heart of the Swarm content and Starcraft 2 as well. I am, of course, Zoronden, guys, and thanks for tuning in. I will catch you on the other side.